Let's talk about a soft diet for kidney failure. A soft diet limits the intake of certain foods in order to reduce strain on the kidneys and your ability to digest food. It typically includes softer, easier to digest food, items like mashed potatoes or mashed cauliflower, cooked vegetables, applesauce, smoothies, soup, or other similar dishes. In addition to these dietary changes, patients with chronic kidney disease need to adhere to some nutritional guidelines, limit their daily fluid intake, and avoid certain medications to maintain their health despite having already weakened kidneys. By understanding what constitutes a soft diet and how it works, people living with renal issues have an opportunity to lead healthier lives despite their condition. A soft diet is a type of eating plan that is recommended for people with certain medical conditions. It typically involves avoiding crunchy, hard to chew foods and sticking to more easier to digest meals. The purpose of this kind of diet is to protect the digestive system from being overworked or damaged due to illness. It's also potentially related to any sort of chewing or swallowing problems, although it's not a prescriptive diet related to that. So what does it mean to eat a soft diet? Generally speaking, it means choosing softer foods like cooked vegetables and fruits instead of raw ones, boiled eggs rather than fried, mashed potatoes instead of crispy French fries, and ground meats rather than steak cuts. In addition, you'll want to avoid any processed foods that may be difficult to break down in your stomach or are high in sodium. For those living with kidney failure, following a soft diet can help reduce pressure on their kidneys, as well as minimize any discomfort associated with digestion issues. By opting for gentler meal options, individuals can give their bodies time to rest and heal without feeling deprived or overwhelmed at meal times. You might be wondering about who I am and why I'm qualified to talk about this. If you're someone living with chronic kidney disease, I've got great news for you. Hello, I'm Mathia Ford, a registered dietitian nutritionist specializing in chronic kidney disease and owner of renaldiethq.com. I specialize in helping people just like you improve their health by making simple yet delicious changes to your meals. Together, we can transform your eating habits, boost your overall well-being, and ensure that you're enjoying every bite along the way. Say goodbye to bland and boring meals and say hello to a healthier, more vibrant life. Let's get started on this incredible journey to better health together. Visit renaldiethq.com today and take the first step towards a healthier lifestyle. For those who are living with kidney failure, dietary changes must be made in order to ensure proper nutritional requirements are met. However, it can be difficult to adjust to new circumstances. Typically, people with issues chewing and swallowing due to missing teeth or medical issues or dentures find a soft diet easier to consume. Soft diet may be recommended for people with kidney failure because it helps reduce strain on the kidneys by providing an appropriate amount of protein for the individual, lower sodium, potassium, and phosphorus. All of this while still ensuring that they receive adequate amounts of nutrients such as carbohydrates, calories, vitamins, minerals, and fats. Following a soft diet requires some discipline, but also provides an opportunity for creativity when planning meals. It is important to focus on variety so that all nutritional needs are met without sacrificing flavor or enjoyment. If done correctly, this type of diet can result in better health outcomes for individuals living with kidney failure. Achieving balance between taste and nutrition is essential for long-term success. Fortunately for patients living with kidney failure, there are many delicious and nourishing foods that can be enjoyed while following a soft diet. Some kidney-friendly soups and stews are great options when it comes to eating a soft diet. Soups made with vegetables like carrots, celery, and potatoes offer plenty of nutrition without overloading your system. Steamed fish provides essential fatty acids without too much fat intake, making it an ideal source for protein. Mashed potatoes provide carbohydrates in addition to being easy to chew and digest. Simply use milk or a substitute for milk instead of butter for added health benefits. You can also mash cauliflower, and if you're worried about the potassium and phosphorus, to have a great option for mashed potatoes. Poached eggs are another nutritious choice. They're low in cholesterol yet high in protein and other essential vitamins and minerals. By choosing specific foods, remember to consult your dietitian beforehand to ensure it's safe for you specifically. Eating healthy doesn't have to mean compromising taste or enjoyment either. There are countless ways to modify traditional recipes so that they fit within the guidelines set forth by your physician or your dietitian. With some creativity and experimentation, anyone can enjoy a palate-pleasing meal while adhering to your special dietary needs. Let's go over some basics. Finding foods that are both kidney-friendly and soft can certainly seem daunting, but once you get started, it's easier to understand what types of foods you should eat. So here are a few basics. Renal diet soup recipes are an easy go-to for most people with soft foods diet, but may or may not be appropriate for everyone on a renal diet based on the sodium level. This is because people in the later stages of kidney disease may have to abide by fluid restrictions on top of their usual dietary restrictions. However, if you do not have any fluid restrictions, soups are an excellent soft food as long as the renal diet restrictions are followed. A simple plan for making mini soups is to simply puree some steamed or roasted vegetables with a cup of milk or water, heat, and add spices for taste. Many foods can be blended down so they're better able to be eaten with a spoon or even a straw. You may need to add some liquid to whatever food you are blending to get a consistency that can be blended. So again, fluid restrictions may come into play. Some foods may need to be cooked a little bit extra to be able to be blended. Also, unless it's a flavor combination that's already known to be palatable for the person, avoid blending too many foods together at once. Some flavors may taste overpowering when they're blended together. And smoothies, the ultimate blended meal. Everyone loves a smoothie. A typical kidney-safe smoothie might include some low-potassium fruit, like berries or peaches, some whey protein powder if there's no protein restrictions, some ice cubes, and some water. I have a kidney-friendly smoothie recipe on my website. Just head over there to the recipes tab and you'll be in good shape. Depending on your restrictions, you may also add some yogurt or milk instead of water. If you want to make it more like a shake, try adding ice cream if appropriate. Most of the typical foods that come mashed are high potassium vegetables like potatoes, but there are a lot of other options that can be eaten. Cauliflower, again, can pass for mashed potatoes when they're steamed and mashed. Depending on how much potassium you can have, you also have the option to leach some of the potassium out of potatoes by double boiling them to make mashed potatoes. Most vegetables can be cooked enough to be mashed down into a pureed state, or you can purchase a jar of baby food in different flavors, or use a baby food grinder to get the pureed consistency that you're looking for. Many foods can be cooked down until they are soft enough for someone on a soft foods diet to handle. Fruits, vegetables, and even some meats will soften enough if you cook them a little extra and add some extra moisture. Again, make sure you're paying attention to fluid restrictions if necessary. Soft diet provides many benefits to people with kidney disease progression towards failure. These include a lower sodium, potassium, and protein intake that can help preserve renal function, especially for those who are not yet on dialysis. By eating softer foods, individuals may experience fewer gastrointestinal problems such as nausea or digestion. A mechanical soft food diet also helps reduce strain on your digestive system by limiting the work that it's needed to break down food particles into smaller components for digestion. In addition, a soft diet is often easier to swallow than other types of diets, which can be beneficial for those who have difficulty swallowing. Again, not a choking diet. You should talk to a speech therapist about that. Soft foods are less likely to irritate the esophagus or cause choking, creating a safer eating experience for those with limited digestive capabilities. Eating soft foods can also improve gastrointestinal function since these items are much easier to chew and digest quickly compared to harder ones. Soft diets provide numerous advantages for individuals living with kidney failure, from improved nutrition and gastrointestinal health to increase safety while eating. Such adhering to this type of diet is a great option for those struggling with chronic kidney disease or end-stage renal disease. You also can get your needed fluid from a cup of water or a cup of milk, depending on other restrictions, and eating healthy foods to boot. Now let's talk about some foods to avoid on a soft diet. When following a soft diet for kidney failure, there are certain foods to avoid. Processed and fatty foods should be avoided because they can increase the risk of heart disease and stroke in those with kidney issues. Also can be a little harder to digest. Foods that contain high levels of sodium can also contribute to swelling caused by water retention, so avoiding them is important as well. Dairy products may be difficult to digest due to decreased kidney function, so it's best to limit their consumption, but consider non-dairy options that are great for a renal diet. Finally, high fiber foods like whole grains and legumes should also be limited since fiber can interfere with the absorption of nutrients from other food sources. In addition to limiting these types of foods on a soft diet for kidney failure, Individuals should also pay attention to portion size when eating meals or snacks throughout the day. Eating smaller portions more frequently helps keep blood sugar levels stable while reducing the amount of work required during digestion. To ensure success on a soft diet for kidney failure, it's important that processed and fatty foods are eliminated or consumed in moderation, sodium intake is reduced, and dairy products probably kept at a minimum. Monitoring portion sizes and fluid intake will help control symptoms associated with renal insufficiency while promoting overall health and well-being. Let's go over a little bit of the nutritional requirements for kidney failure patients. Understanding these nutritional requirements for kidney failure patients on a soft diet can help them take control of their health and improve quality of life. I will say sometimes the first issue is getting enough calories and enough protein. So when I talk about limiting these things, it may be that someone is not eating enough and you have to strive to get to this level versus reducing the amount that they're eating. The first steps in managing nutrition for chronic kidney disease is understanding what foods are safe to eat as part of a soft guideline. Protein intake needs will vary depending on individual factors such as age, medical history, and current stage of CKD. For those not yet on dialysis, protein intake should be adequate to meet the body's needs. Protein levels based on age, sex, and activity level, but the general recommendation is 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. For those on a pre-dialysis diet, protein needs may be lower because high protein levels can cause issues in the kidneys and put more strain on them, which can lead to the progression of CKD. The general recommendation is a modest restriction of 0.6 to 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. For those on maintenance dialysis, the recommended protein intake is 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. It's important to note that those who are on dialysis, the protein needs may be higher since the procedure itself can cause protein losses and inflammation, but these should still be determined on an individual basis. Generally, CKD patients who want to try the soft diet should still adhere to a renal diet. A renal diet focuses on the foods that are safe for chronic kidney disease. As the kidneys fail, they are less able to process out excess waste and materials. The buildup of certain materials in the blood can lead to very serious problems. 3 of the most common restrictions on a renal diet are sodium, potassium, and phosphorus. Excess sodium in the body can cause moderate to severe swelling, also called edema, shortness of breath, and heart failure, among other dangerous health issues. Sodium is typically the very first food restriction for anyone on a renal diet, in addition to protein. Be careful that when you're making adjustments to lower the sodium in the meals, don't use a salt substitute because it might contain extra potassium, which would not be good for people with kidney disease. Phosphorus is a mineral that is found in a lot of healthy foods, but can build up in your system and cause hardening of tissues, brittle bones, and other painful conditions when you have CKD. While phosphorus is found in many healthy foods, it tends to be a lot more prevalent in canned, bottled, and processed foods because it's used as an additive to preserve. Potassium is another typically healthy mineral that helps build and control muscles and nerves, maintains pH and electrolyte levels, and also helps keep your heart at a healthy rhythm. High potassium levels can lead to weakness, nausea, numbness, and irregular heartbeat. Watch out for high potassium foods if you have elevated blood levels and are following a low potassium diet. Each of these typical renal diet food restrictions will likely have varying levels of restrictiveness depending on you and your stage of kidney disease. In the beginning stages of kidney disease, phosphorus and potassium are not major restrictions, but they become more important in the later stages of disease. You want to maintain healthy kidneys as long as possible. Maintaining adequate hydration while avoiding too much fluid intake is essential. If needed, alternative sources like gelatin or popsicles may be used instead of drinking water directly. Finally, it's critical to remember that eating balanced meals should also be a priority on any type of restricted diet, including soft diets specifically designed for individuals with kidney problems. Eating fruits and vegetables that are low in potassium but high in vitamins and minerals help provide important nutrients necessary for proper bodily function and overall well-being. Ultimately, by carefully balancing the right kinds of food into one's daily meal plan, tailored according to individual needs, people living with chronic conditions like kidney failure can begin taking steps towards improving their health without compromising taste or enjoyment. Let's talk about maintaining adequate protein intake with a soft diet. Protein intake can be difficult when following a soft diet because of the food restrictions that come along with it. As previously mentioned, there's a difference in the protein requirement for CKD patients who are not yet on dialysis and those who are. Fortunately, adhering to a soft diet still provides many ways to get proper amounts of protein while still adhering to the dietary needs in kidney failure. In addition to these alternative proteins, incorporating high protein foods into meals, such as oatmeal or smoothies, is another way to boost overall protein intake depending on your individualized requirement. For example, adding peanut butter or Greek yogurt to oatmeal increases the amount of protein without changing the texture too much. If desired, plant-based milk like almond milk or cashew milk provides an additional source of both flavor and nutrition. Smoothies also offer an easy way to sneak in extra nutrients like fruits, vegetables, nuts, and seeds that may not otherwise fit into a meal plan due to soft consistency requirements. One great source of protein on a soft diet is egg whites. Egg whites contain all 9 essential amino acids, making them one of the most complete proteins available. They also have very little fat and cholesterol, making them ideal for people with kidney problems or other health issues requiring a lower fat diet. Eggs pack plenty of vitamins and minerals such as vitamin B12, selenium, phosphorus, and zinc, all necessary nutrients for maintaining good kidney health. You can cook them in a little olive oil and still have a very healthy meal. Here are some ideas for incorporating protein into your food plan. Add scrambled egg whites to oatmeal or toast in the morning. Top salads with grilled salmon or tuna. Enjoy a bowl of chili made with beef mince or ground beef, beans, and vegetables. Make veggie fritters using mashed potatoes mixed with grated zucchini, carrot, or onion and fried until golden brown. Enjoy a baked potato topped with cottage cheese and steamed vegetables. Add non-fat dried milk powder to puddings and soups if you need to increase protein. With a few simple substitutions and additions, the right protein intake on a soft diet is achievable. By getting creative in the kitchen and experimenting with different flavors, anyone with kidney failure can meet their daily protein goals for optimal well-being. Preparing and eating soft meals can be a challenge for those with kidney failure, but here's some tips that can make the process easier. Choose kidney-friendly ingredients. When selecting your ingredients, look for foods that are low in sodium, potassium, phosphorus, and ensure proper amounts of protein depending on your needs. Incorporate soft food recipes. There are plenty of delicious recipes out there that utilize soft food ingredients like mashed potatoes, oatmeal, pureed vegetables, making it easier to create nutritious meals without sacrificing flavor. Plan ahead for meals. Meal planning is key when it comes to following a healthy diet with kidney failure, especially if you're on a limited budget or have difficulty getting around town due to health issues. Eat slowly and mindfully. Last but not least, remember to take your time when eating and savor each bite and chew thoroughly. This helps aid digestion and allows more time for the body's natural satiety signals, the feeling of fullness, to kick in before finishing off an entire plateful of food at once. These simple tips can help make preparing and eating soft meals simpler for individuals living with kidney failure, allowing them access to more variety and better nutrition than ever before. Whether cooking at home or dining out with friends, being mindful about what goes into one's plate is essential for both physical and mental well-being. This is going to lead towards greater quality of life despite having chronic illness conditions like renal disease. This will all work together and lead towards a greater quality of life. Now, when it comes to portion size for a soft diet, kidney failure patients need to pay attention to the appropriate amounts. The diet guidelines recommend that people with this condition should eat no more than 1 to 3 cups of food per meal. This is because their bodies can only handle so much at once, and too much food can be harmful. It's important for them to stick to these limits in order to make sure they're getting the nutrients they need without overburdening their bodies. Meals should include foods from all 5 major food groups: grains, fruits, vegetables, dairy products, protein. And if not dairy products, then alternative dairy products like almond milk, rice milk. Each food group has a different portion size depending on your age and gender, so it's best for individuals to contact a dietitian for personalized advice. Additionally, some foods, such as potatoes, may contain high levels of potassium, which could be dangerous if eaten in large quantities by someone with kidney failure. Ultimately, understanding how much each person should eat during meals while adhering to a soft diet can help those with kidney disease stay healthy and live longer lives. Knowing what types of foods are allowed, the right portions will ensure that an individual receives adequate nutrition without risking further damage to their kidneys. Understanding proper portion size when following a soft diet is essential to managing kidney failure. However, there are some other mistakes that should be avoided as well in order to ensure successful dietary management of this condition. These common mistakes can lead to negative health outcomes if not managed correctly. Fortunately, there are many alternatives available for each of these food groups that still provide necessary nutrients without causing any harm. For example, instead of processed meats, one could opt for freshly cooked lean meats with little sodium added. Unsalted nuts and seeds make a great replacement for salty snack options. Low-calorie sweeteners can replace traditional sweets and desserts. And plant-based milk options like almond milk offer a healthier way of getting needed vitamins than cow's milk does. Following these suggestions will help maintain balanced nutrition while adhering to the restrictions of a soft diet for those suffering from kidney failure. Fluid restrictions are a key component of the diet for kidney failure patients. While struggling with this condition, it's important to carefully monitor and limit your fluid intake in order to prevent further damage to your kidneys, and especially if recommended by your physician. The amount of fluid allowed each day is typically limited to around 48 ounces per day. In addition to limiting fluids, it's also beneficial to select alternative liquids that may either contain fewer calories and are lower in sodium, or contain more calories if you're trying to increase the calorie levels. So you want to review all the liquids that someone's taking in, and if you need to increase calories, that may be a great way to get more calories in. Looking at alternatives can help reduce overall fluid intake if necessary, while still providing essential nutrients like calcium and vitamins. With careful monitoring of both liquid and food intake, individuals living with kidney failure can maintain a balanced diet that supports your health needs. A soft diet for kidney failure has long-term effects, both positive and negative. It's important to understand the impact of making dietary changes in order to ensure it's beneficial overall. The primary benefit of following a soft diet is improved nutritional status, which can affect an individual's overall health and well-being. When an individual follows a diet specifically tailored to their condition, it can also help reduce the strain on their kidneys, which can potentially reduce the risk of disease progression. Following a soft diet may also lower blood, which helps your blood vessels stay healthy, and improve cholesterol levels by reducing the amount of sodium and fat consumed. On the other hand, there's some drawbacks associated with this type of dietary change as well. For example, if someone is not getting enough protein from their food sources due to restricted eating options, then this could lead to muscle loss over time and cause fatigue. If an individual does not consume enough calories through their foods or fluids, this could potentially lead to malnutrition or weight loss. And it's essential for those who follow special diets to receive adequate nutrition education so that these potential problems can be prevented or managed properly. Overall, sticking to a kidney failure specific soft diet comes with many benefits, but should always be done under a doctor's or dietitian's supervision so that any potential risks can be avoided. With consistent monitoring and guidance from medical professionals, individuals who suffer from CKD can ensure they remain healthy while receiving all the necessary nutrients needed for daily functioning. When it comes to diets, one of the most important aspects is understanding what benefits can be gained from following the plan. When considering a soft diet for overall health and well-being, there are many short-term benefits that should not be overlooked. These range from improved nutrition, appropriate protein intake, and the ability to incorporate additional dietary supplements into meals. The primary benefit of a soft diet is that it may provide better nutrition than other types of diets. In addition to providing better nutrition than other diets, eating soft meals has numerous other benefits, including increased availability of protein sources and easier incorporation of nutritional supplements into one's daily routine. Both essential components in achieving optimal health outcomes, no matter what stage of life or kidney disease you have. Following a soft diet for kidney failure can be beneficial in the short term and provide adequate nutrition when planned carefully. Eating softer foods more frequently throughout the day can help ensure that you get enough protein and other nutrients while avoiding difficult to digest items like bran cereal. In addition, there may also be certain supplements that could benefit your overall health while on this type of dietary plan. Eating a kidney soft diet might sound like an easy thing to do, but it's actually not so simple. It does require careful planning to make sure you're getting all the necessary vitamins and minerals, as well as enough protein each day. To maximize its benefits, it's important to be properly guided by a professional such as your dietitian. Although following a soft diet takes some dedication with proper meal planning and supplementing where needed, you can still enjoy delicious meals without having to worry about taxing your kidneys too much. By doing so, you'll feel better both physically and mentally, which is something we're striving for.